Who was the greatest rugby player of all time? Some may argue, and rightfully so, that the title belongs to Barry John, affectionately known as the King. Picture a young lad playing in the muddy fields of Cefneith in RFC, his local team in Wales. This was where Barry John first got a taste of the sport that would later crown him King. It was 1964, and the rugby world was about to witness the rise of a true titan. A switch to Llanelli in the same year marked the beginning of a legendary career. Often remembered as a glider rather than a sidestepper, John had a subtle change of pace and direction that made him a formidable player. His unique style, coupled with a God-given gift for the sport, set him on a path to stardom. His career took a monumental leap when he guided the British and Irish Lions to a historic series victory against the formidable All Blacks in New Zealand in 1971. Scoring a whopping 180 points in 16 games, including 30 of the 48 points in the 4 tests, he became one of the biggest sporting celebrities in the UK. It was during this tour that he earned the sobriquet the King. To be crowned in New Zealand, where every back row forward was trying to take your head off, is indeed a remarkable accolade. In tandem with Sir Gareth Edwards, John forged one of the greatest half-back partnerships that the game has ever seen for both Wales and Lions. His partnership with Edwards enabled Welsh and UK rugby to sit proudly at the top of the world game. At the peak of his powers, John took the rugby world by surprise when he announced his retirement at the tender age of 27. By then, he had a Grand Slam, 2 Triple Crowns, and that remarkable series win over New Zealand with the 1971 Lions to his name. His impact on the sport was phenomenal. He inspired generations of players, thrilled millions of fans, and was always guaranteed to swell any gate at the venue at which he was playing. He set the standard for all Welsh outside halves, and some argue he was the greatest of all time, topping even the likes of Cliff Jones, Cliff Morgan, David Watkins, Phil Bennett, Jonathan Davies, Neil Jenkins, Stephen Jones and Dan Biggar. Barry John's legacy lives on. Despite his departure, he remains a legend of the game, an iconic figure in world rugby. He was and still is one of the greatest sportsmen ever produced in Wales, and is still talked about as the best No 10 of all time in world rugby. That, ladies and gentlemen, says it all about Barry John, the King of Rugby.